our idea of a crazy person is completely different. We look at someone on the roadside, someone who's talking to themselves, someone who has no clothes on, or who is just poor, who is not worried about food, just walking around aimlessly. We call them crazy. But think about it, they are not worried about anything. They beg for food, but they're not worried about the future. But Guru Sahib says, we are crazy because we are worrying about things that we have no control over. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another video where we share the stories of the Sikha of Guru Nanak Dev Ji as told by Shaheed Bhai Mardana Singh Ji in Sikha Di Bhagat Mala, where they explore the names of Gursikhs mentioned by Bhai Gurdas Ji in Vaar number 11. So today we are going to be looking at the Sakhi of Bhai Mardana Ji on how they first met Guru Nanak Dev Ji and what conversations took place. So Bhai Gurdas Ji says, Pala rabab vajayinda majlis Mardana mirasi. Pala rabab vajayinda. That Bhai Mardana Mirasi from the Mirasi clan, Bhai Mardana Ji plays the rabab very well in majlis, in the congregation. Now one day, Bhai Mardana Ji comes to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and as they sit in front of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Bhai Mardana Ji started playing the rabab. Guru Sahib was listening to Bhai Mardana Ji playing the rabab. They closed their eyes and they were in tune in the classical music being played. When Bhai Mardana Ji stopped, Guru Nanak Dev Ji opened their eyes and they asked, O Pala Bandeya, what is your name? O kind soul, what is your name? And Bhai Mardana Ji says, oh, people call me Dana Mirasi, that I'm from the Mirasi clan and my name is Dana. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, you played the rabab very well. You're actually very well versed in classical music. But just playing the rabab, just playing the classical music has no significance to it. If you follow me and become my companion, and you add the words of God into your classical music, then I can promise you that you will get liberation. Now, Bhai Mardana Ji, listening to this suggestion, this idea from Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Bhai Mardana Ji said that, O Sache Pacha, I'm a poor person and my job is to play the rabab in front of the rich people. I go to courts, I go to palaces and I play my rabab in front of kings and they give me money for what I do. The money that I get, I use this money to feed my wife and my children. That's how my family survived because of me playing this rabab. And as my faith is the Islamic faith, I practice namaz 5 times a day. Namaz is the Islamic prayers 5 times a day. And every year I perform roza, which means fasting, for 30 days. Guruji, you are an udasi, a recluse. You travel around the world and you're not bothered about money, about surviving. If I follow you, I will lose not only my faith, but my sustenance as well. And how will my family survive if I don't provide them? If I lose my faith and my sustenance from this world, tell me, Guruji, how will you give me liberation? Guru Nanak Dev Ji listening to Bhai Mardana Ji speaking like that, Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, oh Danya, you speak like a crazy person. Is it you or is it God who sustains the world? Now, Sangat Ji, it's the same for us as well. Our idea of a crazy person is completely different. We look at someone on the roadside, someone who's talking to themselves, someone who has no clothes on, or who is just poor, who is not worried about food, just walking around aimlessly. We call them crazy. But think about it, they are not worried about anything. They beg for food, but they're not worried about the future. But Guru Sahib says, we are crazy because we are worrying about things that we have no control over. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, oh Danya, this is a mindset of a crazy person. Don't think like that because it is not you, but it is WhyGuru who sustains the whole world, including your family. Second thing, you said that your faith is performing namaz and roza. And you said that this is good for you. Now my question for you is, what is the meaning of namaz and roza? And how many times in a day do you perform namaz? And how many times in a year do you perform roza? And at what times do you perform these practices and for how long? Now, Bhai Mardana Ji listening to this question, he was taken aback. And he says, Guruji, I don't know what namaz and roza means. All I know is namaz is done 5 times a day at different times, and roza is done once a year for 30 days. So here's the interesting part. Now Guru Nanak Dev Ji asked back this question. Okay, Paidanya, if you say namaz comes 5 times a day and roza comes once a year, tell me, other times of the day and other times of the year, where is namaz and roza when you're not performing it? Where do they go? Where are they? And Paidanya Ji says, even that I don't know the answer, but I think it's in the house of God. It's in the house of Khuda. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji asked Bhai Mardana Ji, so Danya, now tell me, where is the house of Khuda? Where is the house of God? Bhai Mardana Ji says, even I don't know where it is. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, let me tell you. The house of God is in the hearts of the saints. It's in the heart of the Bhagats. And the Bhagats resides in the hearts of God as well. So ਜਿਹੜੇ ਭਗਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦੇ ਆ, and ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੱਬ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦਾ ਆ. Now, who is a saint? Gurbani says, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਜ਼ ਗਿਰਾਸ ਨਾ ਵਿਸਰੈ ਹਰ ਨਾਮਾ ਮਨ ਮੰਤ ਧਨ ਸਿਸਈ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਪੂਰਨ ਸੋਈ ਸੰਤ. Now here is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is going to explain. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, the saints are those who never forget God for even a moment. That their food, their breath, every moment is just in remembering WhyGuru. And the saints are those who remember WhyGuru every time of the day, not just 5 times like the namaz, but every time of the day the saints remember WhyGuru. They perform namaz with each breath and each food that they eat. And second thing, when it comes to roza, the saints, the Bhagats of WhyGuru, they live in moderation. They live a simple life throughout their whole life, not just for a month, for 30 days and a year, but every day their life is of simplicity and moderation, which means that Bhagats, the saints, they live in contentment, santokha. Their food is simple, their clothing is simple, their interaction with people is very simple. And those who do their sangat, those people also will start living such a simple life as well. So, Bhai Mardana Ji listening to this, they do a benti ke Sache Paatshah. You have explained what namaz and roza is when it comes to the Bhagats of WhyGuru. But can you explain further what it means? I want to know more. Now, Guru Nanak Dev Ji then starts explaining. They say ki in the Islamic faith, they believe in Hari Qiyamah. Qiyamah means the end of the world, which in Sikhi we call it Parlo and Mahaparlo. So Guru Sahib says when Mahaparlo comes, Mahaparlo means complete destruction of every creation, the universe, the world. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says when Mahaparlo comes, or the day of the end of the world comes, as the Islamic faith they believe that every being which has been buried, everyone will be dug up from the ground and everyone will be awakened to give their lekha, to give or pay for their accounts in front of Khuda, in front of WhyGuru. Guru Sahib says, the question will be asked, ki what have you done with your human life? What have you done with the 24,000 breath given to you in a day? How have you utilized it to remember God, to remember Khuda, and to do good in this world? Now, it's very interesting Guru Nanak Dev Ji mentioned this because when we read Sukhmani Sahib this Bani, this is one jugati given to us as well when Guru Arjan Dev Ji wrote this Bani. Ki the Sikh asked Guru Arjan Dev Ji, ki Sache Paatshah, can you give us one Bani that when we read this Bani, our whole day, our breath that we take in a whole day is put into good use, which means that since we are working people, we can't remember God with every breath that we take. Since we are working, we have to take care of children, we are in the household. So is there such Bani that we can read that can allow or help us to put our breath to good use, which means that every breath is used to remember God, but with just that one Bani. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji wrote Sukhmani Sahib Di Bani, which contains 24,000 words. And this Bani, when we read, every word helps to put every breath into good use in remembering WhyGuru. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, ki when the Mahaparlo comes, God will ask, Paramatma will ask, what have you done with the 24,000 breath given to you in a day? How have you used it to good? And how have you helped humanity? How have you served the world? And at that point, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Bhai Mardana, all those mortals, all those beings, the humans, when they get up, when they ask this question, they will not be able to answer. In fact, how will their situation be? Their eyes will be looking down in shame. Their hands will be hugging their waist in fear because they have not used their life to good. They have not remembered God. At that point, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, when the mortal is looking down and hugging themselves in fear, the Jamdood, the messengers of death, will come and beat them up. As they are beating them up, the mortals will fall on their knees and they will cry. And the Jamdood will drag them up, make them stand up again and beat them up again. And they'll be crying and calling out to their prophets, calling out to their peers, to their gurus, asking for help. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, at that point, the mortal will look on their right side. And who will they see? They will see their prophets, their messengers, their gurus, their peers, their fakirs standing there. And the mortal will look at them and say, "Oh prophet, oh guru, oh fakir, I've prayed to you, I've remembered you my whole life, I've listened to you, please help me now." And what will the answer be? Guru Sahib says, they will look back at you and say, how can we help you now? When every day of your life we have been calling out to you. Remember Khuda, remember WhyGuru, remember God, do good, serve humanity, use the wealth given to you to good, but you have not listened to us. Now how can we help you when it's too late? Even Gurbani says this as well. Kabira, sacha sadgur kya kare, jo sikha mein chook. Then Bhagat Kabir Ji says, Ande ek na lagai, jo baans bajaye fook. Kabir Ji says, कि सच्चा सदगुरु क्या करे? What can the true Guru do? जो सिक्खा में चूक, when the fault is in the Sikh. Then Bhagat Kabir Ji says, it's as if every teaching given by the Guru, the Sikh, has not followed. Ande ek na lagai. Ande, the blind Sikh, has not even followed one teaching of the Guru. Jo baans bajaye fook. Just like blowing a flute without air is like as if the Sikh is not listening to the Guru. And at that point, the mortal will look at the right side and plead and cry, asking for help, but no one will help them. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, then the mortal will look on their left side, and what will they see? They will see their whole family, their friends, their relatives, the world, also going through the same dukkha, the same beating by the Jamdoods. And at that point, when we look on the left side, thinking that the world that I've given up my life for, these people that I've spent my whole life making them happy, following them, listening to them, maybe they will help me. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, oh Danya, even at that point, they will look at you and say, how can we help you? Even we are struggling, even we are suffering right now. You look on both sides and there's no one to help you. And there's WhyGuru, there's Khuda in front of you, asking for your accounts on what you have done with this life, and you can't answer. So now in a vulnerable state, you plead, you fall to your knees, and you ask for forgiveness and support from WhyGuru. Ki Sache Pacha, all the faults are mine. Ki mere vich sare avgun ne. And now you fall on your knees and you ask for forgiveness from WhyGuru. This will be your state. And only then WhyGuru can help you. Guru Nanak Dev Ji then tells Bhai Mardana Ji, oh Bhai Mardana, so listen to me, become my companion, add the words of God, add Gurbani, Turki Bani Ai, add the words of Paramatma into your rabab, into your classical music, and with your rag, with your music, and with the words of Akal Purakh, not only you will be liberated, not only your family will be liberated, but everyone who listens to this Shabad Kirtan, they too will be liberated as well. And at that point, Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave Bhai Mardana Ji 3 Sikhya, 3 teachings. Number 1 is to always get up at Amrit Vela and do Naam Simran, which means to remember WhyGuru. Number 2 is to never cut your hair. And number 3 is to do seva of anyone who comes to your doorstep. Anyone comes to your house, do their seva. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, from now on, your name is not Dana, but your name is Mardana, that you will never die. You become my companion and sing the Shabad, and I promise you that not only you will be liberated, but your whole family as well.